Why is the sky red? What did I do? What did I do? I think... Whoo! What the hell?
What was that?
What are these? Obelisks? That's a triangle. They've made a triangle in it.
Whoa.
Oh, shit! Oh! Well...
Are you supposed to be out of the booth?
I'm getting back in the booth. Micah, as a man of few words, what are your thoughts on the rapture?
The rapture as in, like, the second coming of Christ where believers are taken up to heaven?
Yes.
I am a hope for the best, prepare for the worst kind of guy, so I kind of think that rapture might happen like post-tribulation. Wait, what answer are you looking for?
Well, okay. What if I told you that in the pursuit of attempting to, like, okay, it's against, in the Bible, it says, no man knows the day.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, correct.
And multiple sects of Christianity out there, all of them basically say, yeah, trying to predict the end of the world is bullshit. And anyone who tries it is an idiot. Harold Camping is someone who, he didn't say, this is when I believe the world is going to end. He was the person who literally just came out right and said it. This is when the world is ending. Prepare for it, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Cool. Let me guess, it didn't end.
Okay, I'll just show you this real quick. This is Internet Historian basically letting us know all about the man that was Harold Camping.
Oh baby, look at the size of that sponsor.
Just relax. Everything's totally serene. You're floating through a cloud. The sun is warm on your face. The end is nigh. A prophecy has been foretold. The rapture is coming. And we have the specific date. Soon the believers will rise, and the impure will be left below. So repent, sinner. Repent. Get your affairs in order. Take your preparation H. That's preparation for heaven. Because the world will officially end on May 21st, 2011.
Oops.
Wait, what?
May 21, there's going to be a terrific earthquake, way, way greater than anything that the earth has ever experienced, and that'll be the beginning of Judgment Day.
In late 2010, a campaign was launched to save some souls. They suited up, took to the streets. But it was more than just placards and flyers. Soon they were joined by a caravan of 5 RVs roaming the country, spreading the good word about the rapture. Thousands of people took it seriously.
I love the fact that they have this here. The Bible guarantees it. Where? But...
Spreading the good word about the rapture. Thousands of people took it seriously. Many began selling their possessions. They were maxing out credit cards, taking on debt. Even the news picked up on it.
The end is near.
Advertising was put on bus stops, in subways. A big expensive billboard was put up. Then another. Then another. Then 5,000 more. In fact, this quickly became the most expensive single-event advertising campaign ever. totaling over $100 million just to tell people about a rapture on May 21st, 2011. How the heck did this happen? Herald camping. So who is this hardcore gangster rapturist, Herald Camping? He was one of the biggest figures in Christian media. He had a show, Open Forum, hosted by his company, Family Radio. In 2010, it was a media empire worth over $70 million. His message went out on over 200 radio stations across the United States and many more around the world. His listenership? Millions. And when he says the world will end, a decent-sized contingent believed it. Now,
so let's see.
His listenership, 200 radio stations across
see
the United States and many more around the world.
None in Tennessee or Virginia, so I guess that's why we never heard of him.
Yeah, I completely aware of him. 2011, I graduated college in 2011, so maybe I was busy with other things. I don't know.
Maybe.
Millions. And when he says the world will end, a decent-sized contingent believed it. Now hold on. I can see the comment section filling up with edgy atheists and skeptics already. Listen, at first I also didn't believe Mr. Camping. I get it. There have been many people to predict the rapture before and get it wrong. But wait, give him a chance.
I looked at all the scientific data I could find, like carbon-14 dating or potassium-argon dating.
This time, it's different. Camping is coming at you with irrefutable evidence of the rapture because he's using math. This is not just a bit, this is actually how he calculated the rapture. So, Jesus died on April 1st, 33 AD. Now take the year 2011. That's a difference of 1,978. We times that by 365.2422, and that gives you the number of days it's been since that, including leap years. That equals 722,449. Now keep that number in mind. Keep it in your head. Atonement. Now that's 5. Completeness. That's 10. And heaven is 17. Now we times them all together, and look at this. 850. Then we square that, and that's 722,500. A difference of 51. 51 days plus April 1st, 2011 equals May 21st, 2011.
And people saw this work and thought, yeah, this is legit.
Yes, I know. This does not put Christians in a good light.
Yeah.
It does not, and I'm just going to be honest. My family has always, because I asked, when I was a kid, I was curious, when is Jesus coming back? Because, I was in church, I was curious and everything. And I remember basically the same answer from my dad, my grandpa, my grandma, everybody. Was basically just no man knows the day, so basically there is no telling when. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe 1,000 years from now. No man knows the day. But Herald Camping, with this elite mathematical skill, has determined and cracked the code. I guess this guy read the Da Vinci Code too many times and thought to himself, I can do that.
I mean, so gematria is definitely a thing. There's a lot of symbology and hidden in numbers and things. That's not how you do it.
No. I don't know, man. It's
also, why on earth would you take heaven and completeness? Those are English words.
Yeah.
You wouldn't derive numbers from words in English. It didn't even exist.
No, it didn't. But you can't tell anyone that, though.
They'd have to be Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic.
You did it, Mr. Camping. You've cracked the code. And needless to say, his skeptics were left destroyed by facts and logic. Even the ones who pointed out that he predicted the rapture once before in 1994 in a Louis Theroux documentary.
1994 will be the last day of the final tribulation period.
But shut up. He's got more to say than just the
Hey,
date.
Ron.
My boy is about to tell you how the whole thing is gonna go down. So God's gonna snatch up all the good boys, about 200 million of us. Everyone else? Pets? Even the cute ones. So dudes, you're getting left behind. Then at 6 p.m. exactly on Christmas Island, earthquakes are gonna start doodling all over the place, rolling their way across the earth, taking out almost everyone at exactly 6 p.m. according to their time zone. Those earthquakes will then trigger gigantic tsunamis, 10 kilometers tall, and go as far inland as Colorado. Every soul left behind will be forever damned, eventually to go straight down to heck. Now, let's not go lumping everyone in. Most Christian groups did not believe in Harold Camping's teachings. In fact, most Christian groups don't believe in predicting the rapture at all, and even consider it a sin. Matthew 24:36 specifically says that no man can know the day or the hour, so to try and guess at it would be to go against Scripture. Accordingly, Protestant and Catholic groups denounced Mr. Camping's claims.
May 21st, he's a follower of Harold Camping. The scriptures do not teach that. No man knows the day or the hour.
In fact,
It's
even
true.
Camping's own producer at Family...
I guarantee you, most of the people who are doing this for Harold Camping have probably never read the Bible.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of the people who are believers have never read the Bible. And honestly, I think a lot of people would be better off if they did try to read the Bible.
Well, that's how you tell the difference between religion and charisma cults, because it's like they're just following a person.
Yeah. And you see, this is why my pastor, I'm really happy that my pastor, while being a charismatic man, was never about,
started drinking his own Kool-Aid.
Yeah, exactly. Instead, he was always someone who encouraged you to, go, see the world and experience the world and decide for yourself if faith was truly something that you wished to have in your life. Because, be it unto thee to find thine own salvation. That is something that's one of his biggest lessons that he always taught. Because, there were people who actually came into our church who were, they were gay.
Mm-hmm.
They were openly gay. And there were people who were, trying to say oh well, we don't want them here, they're sinning in God's house. I'm you're sinning in God's house.
I started to say the churches are literally supposed to be hospitals for sinners. So
exactly,
it's
you're sinning in God's house. You covet every day.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that think their sin is cooler than your sin. So it's
yeah, and that's exactly the problem. And that's always been my thing. Is just I my pastor. He was always just... They would call him a hippie preacher, but no, he was a fairly conservative guy. It's just the dude loved reading Hellboy comics as well.
There's a new Hellboy video game coming out. It looks pretty legit.
Okay, so there you go. And
it looks exactly like the comics. Also, the implications in those comics are pretty fascinating to explore. So, I mean...
Yeah. And what's wrong with someone who... what you read does not have to determine what your faith is. I mean, you are the person that determines your faith, not, what you read or what anything.
I mean, I don't really think Hellboy is Satanist material, though. Mignola's pretty smart. I mean,
yeah.
I've got literally all the Hellboy comics.
Radio said it was a bad idea. But that didn't stop Mr. Camping. He saw the big churches as corrupt anyway, so he ignored them and continued charging forward with his prediction.
There's just no reason in the world, no possibility that it will not happen.
And so did his followers.
97% of the people God will destroy.
Do you think this thing is getting blown up too much in the media and elsewhere?
Before we go on, two important details. Number one, Family Radio receives most of its funding through donations, bequeathments, ads, merchandise, and sponsors, but mostly just donations. 2. Family Radio was established in 1959, Camping as the owner and CEO, but there are 2 other chairmen on board to keep him in check. Or at least there were. Unfortunately, in recent years, those other chairmen were getting quite old and sick and having a tougher and tougher time telling Camping no to poor decision making.
I want to baptize babies in Red Bull.
Yep.
No. No.
So by 2010, Camping effectively had free reign over the company. Free reign over its messaging. Free reign over its audience. And free reign over the spending. And he started spending like the world was going to end.
Oh.
The media soon picked up on the ubiquitous advertising, and the word spread further. This, in turn, encouraged more advertising, and in turn more media interest, so things were snowballing. By early May, everyone was talking about the rapture. The search term End of the World May 21st was number 2 on Google search, followed by Harold Camping, May 21st Doomsday, and May 21 Rapture, also in the top 10. The traffic online was so substantial it even caused Family Radio's servers to crash. Soon, it became a bit of a meme. And the internet did what it does best. On May 19th, Operation Rapture was conceived. Okay, lads. We wake up early on May 21st and throw clothes into the street. It's going to look like a bunch of people were teleported to the afterlife.
Oh no!
That's great.
Oh man.
I love it.
Some of them are going to freak out. Well, they had a pretty good turnout, but it doesn't seem like anyone fell for it.
Aw.
Disappointingly, it seems like no one showed up for the pre-rapture orgy organized on Facebook either. Although maybe that's because the location was a bit vague. But best of all was an event organized by the Phenomenauts. They got people together in the middle of town and filled a bunch of sex dolls with helium and attached them to balloons to transcend into the heavens.
Glorious.
It was a beautiful moment, and
Glorious.
it made a lot of us reflect.
I should have been a better person!
Yoink. People also tried to make some cash off the situation. They offered to buy Camping's followers' stuff on Craigslist for pennies on the dollar.
Offering to buy on Craigslist raptured people's possessions.
There was also a famous eBay auction, $100,000 post-rapture insurance for only $19.99.
Damn.
But one startup did do quite well.
Dog sit for those called up to heaven.
Based around taking other people's pets in the event of a rapture. And I believe they still operate today.
After the rapture pet. Okay, hold on. It is still up. Oh my gosh, for real? Ladies and gentlemen, After the Rapture pet care is still a thing. Damn, that's awesome.
So up next, we'll show you what happened on May 21st and what happened to all those people who truly believed. But first...
My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick, my crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is my...
Bad time.
He actually said it.
Wow.
Have you ever seen the...
No.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I need to.
I will never forget when I saw that so long ago. My beats are sick, and they keep getting sicker, because that's just Jesus Christ is my...
Who's there?
Oh, God.
Hello, it's me.
Oh my God, it's Jesus. What are you doing here?
Well, I just wanted to tell you that me and God have seen your Google search history and were very disappointed.
Oh no!
That's right, and now you're not getting into heaven, or the more exclusive version, Super Heaven, which features a delicious seafood buffet.
Oh no!
Yup.
Oh, how I wish I had taken the time to hide my internet viewing habits.
Well, you didn't, and now you're doomed forever.
That's not theologically sound, but okay.
No, it's not, but
Has this ever happened to you? Go to nordvpn.com/Internet Astoria.
I use ExpressVPN. I've just had better experiences Express.
To keep your website traffic anonymous.
All looks wholesome to me.
Plus, it also gives you region unlocking. Oh, hey, look, it's the UK's exclusive channels. And you didn't even pay a telly license. Oi, oi, stop that. That'll be £52.09. Too late, copper. I've Brexited to Australia now, a place where no law can touch me. How much would you pay for this service? $1 billion? Literally gazillions? Not today. Get 75% off 3-year plan at nordvpn.com/internethistorian and use code internethistorian to get a free extra month, which includes unlimited data, ultra fast speeds, region unlocking in all these places, also a map of the world which is useful for things such as geography.
Wow, that's so good I might even get code internet historian NordVPN myself.
Yes, Jesus, I think that would be a good idea. Ha 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 ha. Ad over. Before we go on with Mr. Camping, I want to point out 2 other predictions. In 1806, Mary Bateman also predicted doomsday. Through a chicken. It was dubbed the Prophet Hen of Leeds because it started laying eggs with the message, Christ is coming, marked onto them. Amazing. And it all appeared legit. Locals saw the hen lay eggs with the message already written onto them. Can't fake that. Oh my God, people said, and many more flocked to the area to pray. Well, on inspection of the eggs, it was soon figured out what was going on. Mary Bateman had used a corrosive substance to etch into the egg, and then, a couple of minutes before everyone would gather around to watch the chicken lay, Mary would... Oh dear.
Yeah.
Come on, man, it's not funny. She was an interesting character, though. Claimed to be a witch, poisoned a couple that same year with a deadly pudding. She was later tried and hanged in 1809. Strips of skin from her corpse were tanned and sold as magic charms to ward off evil spirits. What the fuck am I reading?
Whoa.
Also, shout out to 2012. Remember that one?
As December 21st, 2012 marks the end of the world.
Well, we came because it's the end of the world tomorrow, and we thought we'd better pop in here because apparently this place will be saved.
With accents like those, you would hope they'd be the first to go come the apocalypse.
Okay, let's get on with it.
Wow.
Let's take a closer look at some of the people who followed camping. Take Robert Fitzpatrick, 60, former government employee.
I had plans after I retired, but I put them all aside. I feel as if I've been drafted.
He took almost all of his life savings, $140,000, to have 3,000 posters put up in New York City subways and bus stops.
I'm not going to tell you I'm down to my last penny, but, you know, it's a good chunk of what I had saved up, sure.
Does it matter if you're down to your last penny, if the doomsday is coming?
No, it doesn't.
And he's not the only one. According to the LA Times, the Bauer family hopped in their minivan and drove across the country to see all of the big landmarks before it was too late, racking up thousands of dollars in credit card debt in the process. They really believed they were going to die. Worse still, the Ramsey family. The father quit his job. So did his mum. His younger brother quit high school. And his wife Marcia thought she was never going to meet her unborn child. Some of these people's lives got pretty fucked up.
What is their definition of rapture?
I guess, like, you know, they think that the world is going to end. You know, Camping explained earlier, you know, a great earthquake will spawn at Easter Island, and it'll cause a giant tsunami that will literally
well, that's not rapture. So it seems to me like he's preaching like a pre-tribulation rapture where they're taken up and then the earthquake wipes everything out. So what are they afraid of? Like, because
my guess is
they wouldn't die then if that.
I guess maybe. Well, here's the thing. There's the old saying, you can't buy your way into heaven. But these people, like specifically that government employee who spent over $140,000 of his retirement fund on posters to hang around New York City, he thought he was like doing God's work right there, and he thought, well, since I've done God's work and I've done enough, hopefully I will be raptured before the giant earthquake and
I mean, do you think he was thinking it was a quid pro quo, or he was just thinking, I'm running out of time, so this is the only way I have to get the message out to save other people?
I guess. I don't know. Like, trying to figure out the logical, like, reasoning with this stuff. I hate calling people like this insane, but it's insane.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
The day is here. It's rapture time. Here we go. Oh, Lord, I'm ready. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
You remember what that image is from?
Oh, Lord.
Is that the Shrek video? Oh, man.
That was one of the first videos we reacted to.
Yeah, and I still remember it.
This is my swamp.
Lord, I'm ready. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a rapture. Watch me, guys. Mr. Camping spent the day at home in quiet solace and contemplation, waiting for 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what Mr. Fitzpatrick did. A confident Fitzpatrick marched into the middle of Times Square amongst a crowd of mocking bystanders, ready to prove everyone wrong.
6 o'clock. In 3 minutes. If it does not happen, what will that mean?
I wouldn't entertain that question.
You're confident.
That's what I read in the Bible.
Here it comes. 3, 2, 1.
I think I said this in another time. At this point, right here, if I was that guy in the middle of Times Square, I had all those cameras on me. I had all those people around me hissing at me and mocking me and everything like that. You know what I would do at that point? I would literally just be like this.
It's just one big Rickroll.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do, honestly. Just an opportunity to Rickroll the freaking universe. I mean, come on, man.
That's fair.
I'd be an internet legend forever because of that.
Uh-oh. Nothing happened.
Yay!
In 6:01, 6:02, and by 6:03, Fitzpatrick's convictions turned to confusion, and it's pretty hard not to feel sorry for him.
I didn't water my plants. I didn't do the dishes before I left. I didn't expect to be going back home. But it looks like I will be going back home.
But look, just so we're clear, we're all still alive, and the rapture didn't happen. Camping was not in the same celebratory mood.
I'm ready to shoot myself or go on a booze trip.
The next day was a Sunday. People were crushed, confused, looking for answers. They showed up at Camping's church expecting to see him, but someone else was holding the congregation. Instead, Camping spent the day holed up in his house.
Give me a day. No interviews at all today.
But I'm wondering how you feel today about your prediction.
Well, I'm bewildered. I'm very bewildered, and that's all I can say right now.
On Monday, he appeared on his program. But this time, no open forum. But what he did have was a whole bunch of rationalizations. In fact, your boy was doubling down with another prediction. October 21st, 2011.
Yeah.
This is it. And it will continue right up until October 21, 2011. And at that time, the whole world will be destroyed.
Now, I know what you're going to say, and okay, maybe he got it slightly wrong, but this time he has irrefutable proof of the rapture. Using math. Again. So Camping took May 21st. Then he looked in the book of John, which states they caught 153 fish. So, at 153...
Yeah. It's at this point, I would literally just like... What do you say to this guy except for... retire. Never ever
like
preach again. Please.
I don't know why get hung up on that, because if you have a successful radio show and like you're already doing the work, like just keep making programming that people enjoy, that they get value from. Like, I mean, it looked like he had a huge following on YouTube of just him reading the Bible. I mean, what's wrong with that? Like,
nothing. And if he would have just stuck to that, I guarantee you,
yeah,
like nothing bad would have come of Harold Camping's Open Forum.
Think of all the Christians across the denomination be like, look at this kindly old man who has his own narration of the Bible. Like, what a gem.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, everybody can appreciate that. It doesn't, because it's just like you're just reading the Bible. It's not you're not giving theological interpretation. So you'd be like, oh man, Catholics are like, oh, I love him. Like, yeah, I'm not whatever, but I still appreciate his, you know.
He could have been the Bob Ross of the Bible.
I was thinking Mr. Rogers, but yeah.
Well, yeah, Mr. Rogers is the Bob Ross of the Bible.
Because he kind of his set looks like Mr. Rogers to me.
Yeah, but yeah, Mr. Rogers also, you know, Presbyterian minister and easily one of the kindest human beings who's ever existed. Also, another thing that a lot of people didn't know for a long time, Mr. Rogers was basically one of the biggest role models for Michael Keaton. Because Michael Keaton got his start as a puppeteer on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Oh.
Pretty neat, huh?
Days to May 21st, making the new Rapture October 21st. How can you argue? It's flawless.
Yes, Mr. Camping. Add the fish number. You've got it this time.
On Tuesday, he opened the phones on his radio show, and it was the first time that his show was ever exciting to watch.
Why didn't the rapture happen on May 21st? Don't cut me off yet. And why do you believe so much on it's going to happen another 5 months? You're really pathetic. You know, I wasted all my money, and I sent it to you, and now I don't have nothing. I was putting my hopes in you. You understand? I wish I could see you face to face. I'd smack you right in the...
What say you now? Calling names doesn't help anything.
After that, viewership steadily declined.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, after his prediction for October 21st, the media asked him,
am I on cocaine?
No, they asked him,
will you dissolve the company in October?
His response?
I am not the CEO. I'm a servant of God working here, and God is the CEO. We look to him all the time. He has 1,000 ways of getting me out of here. We have to leave that question with the Lord, not with you or with me. That's not our business. That's God's business.
And how prescient.
Yeah, that's very convenient.
2 weeks later, he had a stroke.
I do hope he gets the message.
But he didn't. A month later, he was back to doing
I imagine him.
And how prescient. Because 2 weeks later, he had a stroke.
I do hope he gets the message.
But
he didn't. And then...
That...
Imagine him waking up from them inducing him into a coma. He's just like, is it October 21st yet? God, I don't want to miss it this time.
A month later, he was back to doing his show. And he pressed on with his new prediction. By October 16th, though, he came to his senses. He admitted that no man could know exactly when the rapture would happen, and made no statement when October 21st came and went. Finally, on November 1st, he retired from his leadership position at Family Radio. Just under 2 years later, he was dead. The result of complications from a fall at his home.
It wasn't me, it was him. Look at him. Get him.
Really? You're going to put a spotlight on Sumito and just say, it was him. Get him.
But look, I don't want to be too harsh. He was a flawed man. He messed up some people's lives. But in the end, he confessed his mistakes too.
I was totally convinced, totally convicted of it. But I was wrong. I was wrong.
I have sinned.
I think he truly believed the rapture was coming. This wasn't one big grift. And everyone just kind of got swept up in the excitement of it all. So let's put a bow on it with what happened to Family Radio. During the Rapture campaign, Family Radio raised a lot of money, but not as much as they spent. As well as draining their funds, they sold off important radio stations to pay for a lot of the advertising. In the process, they greatly tarnished their reputation. They were bringing in scores of millions in revenue in 2011, but by 2012, it was down to single-digit millions. Now, this is still a substantial amount, but not when you consider their operating costs were $26 million per year, and they couldn't rely on donations to make up the windfall because goodwill had dried up. Stations in a shrinking reach, they moved to distance themselves from camping and his baggage. Shows from mainstream Christian groups that Harold pronounced as corrupt were brought into the programming schedule. They announced they would no longer air the teachings of Mr. Camping. And finally, on their website, they removed the archives of Mr. Camping's audio recordings.
There you go.
Okay, I've kind of bummed everyone out, but that's the end of the story. I've got nothing else to say, so here's a whole bunch of weird Baroque and Renaissance paintings.
Help me. Mom warning me not to fill up before dinner. Me.
Well, time to breastfeed again.
Put me down. I'm 45 years old.
That's good. That's all looking good. God damn it. You're not supposed to look straight at the camera.
Hey, did you pay for that cross?
Yes.
Here, have another bloody me.
Yeah, this is Joseph's kid, Craig. He likes grapes.
It's true. I do. Wait, there's a mosquito.
Thanks.
My new son. He is so beautiful.
Also, previous video, Jeff the Killer, Sonic High School next week, NordVPN.
Wow.
Damn. Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, that was Harold Camping and his end of the world prediction. Unbelievable, right?
I don't understand how people get caught up in that stuff. I mean,
sheer stupidity.
It's something. I don't know.
And cult of personality. I'd say cult of personality. And,
but was he though? I mean, he didn't seem to be that charismatic though.
Well, I would say it was more like the cult of personality of like Family Radio, like their size.
Yeah, I don't
because
know.
it's just like when you hear an audience of millions upon millions, like I think they had an audience of over 60 million people, and when you have the cult of personality of 60 million people all telling you that what they're saying is right, I mean, it stands to reason that you're gonna want to be a part of that. Like if you feel like if you see like these people, for instance, like it's the people who see Mormons as being, you know, happy and, you know, just jovial and all around good people, and it's just like, you know what? I want to be a Mormon. I want to be a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But all in all, it's just like people have different experiences with religion, and you know, my experiences for the most part have been really good. I know there are people out there who've had very bad experiences with religion, and I'm not gonna say that, you know, hey, you know, don't let that tarnish your faith. It's like, no, it's up to them whether or not they wish to believe, and I'm not gonna try and force them into believing anything because it's not on me. It's on them. I really don't know what else to say about Harold Camping except for he lived a long time. I mean, 92 years, that's a heck of a life.
I mean, I don't understand it, but I guess I've seen it firsthand. I know someone who has dreams, allegedly, according to her, prophetic dreams, and adamant about them, and then her predictions don't come true, and then the goalpost gets moved somehow, and it's like...
And so that's the
and it's like, really? Like, UT winning this football game is going to be the start of like a God-led revival in Tennessee. Like that's the hill you're going to die on. And then
Really?
They lost horribly, and it's like, yeah, and like all for God using insignificant things to bring about change. But I don't think Tennessee football.
I don't think God doesn't give a damn about football.
I know. I'm just like, oh man, that was a weird one.
Sounds like a weird one.
It's my buddy's mom, so it's
look, I get it. She's an avid UT fan, and I guarantee you Peyton Manning is, like, when she draws, like, if she drew a picture of Jesus Christ, it would have Peyton Manning's stupid horse face. But
yeah, it's strange because it's like she won't go to church because these congregations are closed-minded and won't recognize her gifts because she has prophetic dreams, but then usually her prophecies don't come true, so I just...
What else is there to say, man?
But why get hung up on that? Like, what does it matter if you can prophesy or not? Just try and live your life the way you're supposed to. That's what's asked of you. Like, you don't have to have impressive gifts to do the job, right? That's the point.
Well, no, I mean, you have, like... But that's the thing, no, I have to be more impressive than everyone else so that the congregation recognizes me as a good Christian, because that's the only way you get in heaven is if everyone else thinks you're a good Christian. No, not the case at all. The only one who has to think you're a good Christian is, oh gee, I don't know, the namesake of the religion itself, Jesus Christ, and our Lord God. That's the only thing that's the only opinion that matters.
Yeah.
But you, like, out there in the congregation shooing people away because you don't like the way they look or thinking that you can buy your way into the good graces of the church, it's just like, it's one reason why I'm not going to say Catholicism to me is just like, like the church itself, like the Pope is what determines...
well, at one point in time, it was salvation was through the church, so that's why excommunication was such a big deal.
Yeah, and of course, Martin Luther comes along with his 95. Sorry, yeah, the 95 proclamations against the church is just like, yeah, it's like this is absolute nonsense, and here are 95 reasons why, and it's like, basically, hate to say it, but camping deserved to be booted out as soon as like
he became a false teacher. Yeah,
he became a false he became a false prophet. There you go. All right. Anyway, that's gonna do it. This is Going Camping at the End of the World by Internet Historian. Let us know what y'all thought. I know me and Micah both pretty much are saying the same thing, so let's just end it there. And until next time, I'm Nate.
Micah.
And this is Big Ol' Ashy Boy. And we'll see you in the next one, everybody. Peace.